Donald Trump is already breaking polling records. I am not sorry to say. He enters office for the second time with bottom of the barrel approval ratings, second among modern presidents. So he doesn't have the worst approval ratings of any modern president. That would go to, him the last time. So he's got the bottom two spots, and it's pretty bad right now. Now, where exactly he lies depends on the poll that you look at. In Gallup, I think he might be the worst in that one. But if you look at this is an analysis of, as new presidents come in, what do people think about him? And you can see there that Donald Trump is at net 7 across 538's amalgamation of a lot of polls. Individual polls have him net negative, but there they have him net 7 positive. He was at net 3 the previous time, but the closest person to that is Biden, who was 22 up. And then you jump back, Obama was 49 up. That means a significant number of Republicans were like, yeah, no, this guy seems pretty cool. And then you go back, and that was historically basically how it worked. And I know that the trend is that presidents enter with less approval. And that is definitely true. That trend exists. But Biden is closer to the way that it used to be than Trump has been in either of his cases. And so, look, he's president. This doesn't change that. He can do wild things, and the Supreme Court says that he's basically a king and there will be no accountability. All of that is true. But I just want to make sure you know that you are not crazy if you don't like what you're seeing, okay? Because he is historically unpopular. He also was historically unpopular, but he is still too, to butcher that classic joke. But anyway, and so he started off historically unpopular, and to be clear, it could rapidly get much worse for him because in Reuters Ipsos polling, he already has lost 2 points since January 20th to 21st. It has been 10 days and he has lost 2 of the points, and he did not have points to lose in that. But it is going down, and it is likely that it will even more because he's doing all this wild stuff, freezing all federal contracts, firing everybody. And some of this stuff he thinks is gonna be very popular, and I can almost understand why he'd think some of it would be. See, like when you poll people, AP, NORC, back in March 2023, you ask them, should we cut government funding? Does the government spend too much? 60% say yes. And so if you don't dig any deeper, you might think, people want to cut the government. Yeah, but do they? Because when you dig into that poll, the same poll finds that 65% say the government doesn't spend enough on education, 63% say the same thing about healthcare, 62% think the government should spend more on Social Security and infrastructure, and 59% want more money to be allocated to helping the poor. Where's the one issue that they actually say, I want it to be cut? I want the government to be cut, but not any of its programs. There's one, it's foreign assistance. And the issue there is that when you ask people how much of our budget goes to foreign assistance, you get a wide variety of answers, but people will say maddening things like 12%, 20%, 30%. It's less than 1%. It's not even 1%. I'll round up to 1%. So you could cut the entire thing and it basically doesn't change the budget at all. And so in his pursuit of cutting the budget, which he thinks will be popular, he's gonna cut a ton of stuff that people already think we don't spend enough on. And so Brett, this is one of the things that I am drawing a little bit of hope from, that his agenda, whether it succeeds or not in getting passed, is not gonna be popular, and that rapidly people will be calling for a change, hopefully in the midterms, definitely the next time around the presidential race. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's waking up the next morning after you've made a huge mistake. That's what it is. It's not buyer's remorse. Like these polls are all on like crusty Kleenexes. Everybody whipped themselves into frenzies and like, no, I got Trump again. Yeah. Oh my God, eggs are getting more expensive. He just said that anything out of Mexico and Canada, he's going to raise the price up by 25%. 25% increase in the price of all this stuff, dude. Come on. Like that's what's happening. There's been a plane crash. There's an outbreak of Ebola in Africa. Everything's so bad instantly. The moment he arrived, Nvidia, which was to the moon, crash. It's so bad. So instantly, And one of the reasons is because it's Trump. I think the main reason is because it's Trump. I can't see any, like, the things that changed were he put new people in charge of stuff. He's getting rid of people to be in charge of stuff. Stuff isn't going to happen. And this is like, don't give a libertarian everything they want, because they don't want anyone in charge of anything, because they think they're so goddamn smart. And then it turns out you kind of need someone saying where the plane should go.
Yeah, you too.
But yeah, it's going to continue to go down.
Following on from what you were saying, and has declared this to be America's post-nut clarity.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
They're not happy tears, they're sad tears. But anyway, yeah, that's gross, but there's definitely something to what you said. And yeah, they don't want this. They don't want this. They're not gonna like this. They didn't like it the last time, and it was less aggressive the last time. And like 2 weeks ago, eggs did not cost $12. You didn't have to think long and hard before buying eggs. Planes weren't flying out of the sky. China hadn't taken the global lead in the war for AI or whatever. Why is everything worse under Donald Trump?
Dude, so they had been lowering interest rates, and because Donald Trump is causing more inflation, they're keeping interest rates steady, which means Donald Trump is making money expensive. Now, so nuts.
So post nuts. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.